Hello, my friends. Hey, welcome back here to once yet another video, folks. Bringing to you some good stuff today, folks. Michael Blongwitz here once again, coming to you today with my video topic of what's this really about? Folks, sat around today. I think a lot, folks, and I don't just think about random stuff. I actually have rational thinking, right? About, just how this world works, why people do what they do, right? Why things the way they are, or the way they are. Kind of sitting around today, I was actually thinking about, actually 1% of the population in America controls 1/3 of the wealth, right? Other people say that the top 3% of the population control, even higher percentage of the wealth, perhaps 95% of the wealth, right, in America. So why is this? And why do some people feel they're stuck in their jobs and they can't get out, right? Why do some people not go for their dreams in life? What's stopping them? How is it that somebody can go day in and day out in a routine that they're not happy about? And how is it that they're not able or willing to do anything to change that? So I got thinking about these things today, folks, and I'm wondering, this is my little rant for today, but I'm wondering why these things happen. And I get thinking about it, and I question back, is it our upbringing, right? Is it maybe our parents, right? When we were growing up, maybe they instilled these values in us to be a certain way, and now we're fixated into that kind of person because that's where we evolved, and that's where we were molded and shaped it into that, so we carry that on the rest of our life. Maybe that's why. Or whoever helped bring you up in this world. Maybe it wasn't your parents, but it could have been adopted. I don't know. But folks, maybe it's the schooling systems, right? Maybe the schooling systems are designed, right, to push teenagers out of high school, right, into the workforce or college, which inevitably will end up to the workforce. But maybe the schooling system, right, is designed to have children or teenagers, right, listen to people and obey orders by authority, right? You ever think of that with all the teachers out there, how we always have to listen and do as we're told, right, and be good and all that kind of stuff in school and not speak out? And maybe that's why, it's like, or maybe that there's some conspiracy that the powers, right, to be, want to dumb down society, right? So maybe they feed us nutrition deficient food, right? Crap food, junk food. Program us with all these commercials that we have to eat fast food, or maybe it's that alcohol is legal. Funny enough, the alcohol is actually legal, which is probably one of the more destructive drugs out there, or substances you can take, and I think it's caused a lot more destruction within our own society, right? As far as bringing people down, alcoholism is a very destructive disease to have. But funny enough, the other substances that are out there that are mind expanding, that actually help you see and put a new perspective on things, that open your mind to new possibilities, potentially even your own power, that those substances are illegal. Is that why? I'm just throwing stuff out here, folks. But I don't know what it is, but and I think I heard it once from a friend here, and I want to kind of relay this to you, but I heard it once, and I thought it was an interesting way he put this. He says that modern-day slavery, right, is worse off now than it was back in the 1900s, when slaves actually knew they were slaves because they were chained and shackled, right, and they knew that they actually consciously knew they were slaves. Nowadays, right, people go in, they get out of the schooling system, they go into a job perhaps, and perhaps five days out of the week they're going into this job, day in and day out, not being fulfilled, not being on purpose, and not having real meaning in their life, but kind of doing it and really not even aware that they're doing it. But they become a slave to their job. Why is this? Well, they have to get that paycheck every week. They have bills to pay. They probably have a car, with a car payment, right? They may even have a house with a house payment, right? They may have a credit cards that they used up in high school or college, which is what we're sent in the mail, right? About all these credit cards and how we should apply right away. Puts people in debt, right? I feel that actually the credit card system, right, was set up to charge people interest to keep them a slave to paying off that interest, right? I feel so many people are in debt and they're paying this interest, and the interest is accruing, right? Month after month after month, year after year, right? And we're stuck in this vicious cycle of paying that off. So being a slave to your job, maybe because of some of those reasons, right? We have all these things to pay off, and the moment we step away from our job, our income goes away, and then it's like, oh my God, freak out time, because we can't pay our bills, right? That we were so dependent on. We had like this sense of like security with our job, and leaving that would cause a loss of certainty, which is, most people don't want to be there. They feel unsafe and it's scary and all that kind of stuff. So all these things are going through my head, and it's like, speaking of people being a slave to their jobs nowadays without even being aware of it, but it's like, people left and right are giving up on their dreams, and they may not even dream at all to begin with. That's the thing. I think that people don't have a dream now. Once they realize they're dreaming and actually can see it up here, then it's like, okay, well, that's what I want. I can take some action steps to get there. But I think for the most part, people have stopped dreaming, right? And I feel maybe perhaps it's because we're all dumbed down into this kind of cookie cutter box that we're not able to step out of, right? We're in a position where we're going to work simply for a paycheck. So it's time to start thinking about these folks stuff. If you have a dream, and why don't we go for it? Even if some people do dream, they won't go for it. Why? Very simple, folks. There's a fear there, right? There is a fear that stops people. Now, fear, I've talked about this in other videos. Fear is an illusion. It's not real. Because if any of you, the ironic thing about fear, so-called fear, the ironic thing, it's the funniest thing, that once you've taken on a fear, right, and moved through it, I'm sure some of you have, at some point in your life, you have felt a fear, and you went ahead and you had to take action, or you took action in the direction of that fear anyways, right? That is when you feel most alive. Don't you feel most alive when you actually step through a fear and conquer it, right? You feel most alive then, and that's a great feeling to have. You think we would want more of that, correct? You think we want more of this good feeling. However, fear stops most people from taking action and pursuing their dreams. It is stepping out of their comfort zone, and it's going on a path less traveled, right? Because the majority of the population, why is there 1 or 2% of the population that controls the majority of the wealth, folks? Right? Who knows? Maybe it's the Federal Reserve System, right? If you know anything about that, right? The banking industry, the banking one world bank that prints money, right? With no gold backing it. So all this money is being printed. It's basically free money. And that's how a lot of these powers to be can live. Who knows, folks? But you know what you do have? You have power within you. Despite when any of these leaders are, these powers to be, that perhaps there's a conspiracy that they're trying to keep the wealth from the majority of the population. Despite all of that, you can actually wake up, rise within yourself, and actually discover your own self-purpose here in life and follow your dreams, follow your passions, right? Step into your power, which I feel that in a way society's power has been zapped. It's been zapped, and it's time to release that. But the good news is, folks, that as much as the world is going perhaps downhill, maybe with all the war and violence, destruction, how we're destroying Mother Earth, how it's such a bad economy, all this stuff. In science, right, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So as bad as it's getting, right, as we think it may be, just as equally in the other direction, it's going up, and it's getting better and better, right? So think about that. Now, do you want to be part of the side that's going up, or the side that's in a downward spiral, folks? I'm here. I'm one of the light workers. I'm here to share a message with you, okay? I'm one of the people that's going on the up and up. And in life, there is no middle ground, folks. There is no middle ground. You're either growing or going backwards or dying, really. So there's no in between. So what's it going to be? Are you going to rise above, right, and take the higher path to a life with purpose and meaningfulness, right? One that you can feel good about at the end of your days here. What's it going to be? All right. I urge you today to take a look inside yourself of what your dreams were, right? If you have to re-spark those dreams and get thinking about what it is you really want in this life. Because this is it, folks. Dress rehearsal is over. This is your shot. I want to see you out there shining, folks. Make it a great day, folks. We'll see you soon in my next video. Be well.